You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. We'll talk Jackson Dart coming up in a second as Ian Rappaport says the New York Giants are doing a lot of work on him prior to his pro day, which happened on Friday. But Daniel Jeremiah, NFL draft expert for the NFL Network, saying, I think they are leaning towards not taking a quarterback at the number 3 pick. Saying this following the New York Giants going out and signing Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson. A lot of people have wondered, is Joe Schoen still going to pull the trigger on a QB at number 3? Jeremiah, he doesn't think so. Saying this in depth. I think, first of all, if you love Shedeur Sanders and you have a big grade on him, I don't think this would stop you from drafting him. But the fact that the Giants decided to do this now, talking about Russell Wilson signing, leads me to believe more that they are going to take another player that can help them win games this year. And they feel like these two quarterbacks, Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston, could buy them enough time, enough wins to get their quarterback later on down the road. And this isn't the only person over the last couple of days to make a pretty strong point to make it clear that the Giants are going to draft a positional player. Excuse me, Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk saying this. The same person who contacted me over the weekend and told me the Giants were still in on Russell Wilson, which they ended up signing him, has now told Mike Florio they are not going to draft a quarterback with the number 3 overall pick. So Daniel Jeremiah says he doesn't think they are going to, and the source that told Florio that they were going to sign Russell Wilson, even though people thought they had moved on, is now saying they are not going to draft a quarterback. And I'll just say this, connecting dots, reading in between the lines, and putting on my thinking cap, the Giants have operated like a team this offseason that at minimum doesn't want to be forced to take a quarterback with the number 3 overall pick. Just think of the moves they've tried to make. They tried to go all out and sign and trade for Matthew Stafford. They did everything they could possibly do to go out and sign Aaron Rodgers. That tells me that they don't believe either A, a quarterback is going to be available at number 3, or B, they are not in love with the quarterbacks that are going to be on the board at the number 3 overall selection. That's just kind of where I'm at this point. And I think going out and signing Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston gives Joe Schoen the luxury of not having to reach on a quarterback at number 3 overall if he does not 1,000% believe that that quarterback is a franchise guy. It sounds like Cam Ward's going number 1 overall. Adam Schefter has now doubled and tripled down, saying Abdul Carter is going to go number 2 to the Browns, which means Shedeur Sanders will be on the board when the Giants are on the clock. And I think Shedeur can be a good NFL quarterback, and I've sung the same tune all offseason long. Shedeur Sanders is my QB2 in this class. I would be very happy if the Giants take him at number 3 because we have a direction. We have our guy. But I've always said I'm not 100% sure he is a franchise-saving quarterback. I don't think Shedeur Sanders is likely to be an MVP candidate one day. I don't think you can run an offense where if Shedeur Sanders is your best player, like a Patrick Mahomes or a Josh Allen or a Lamar Jackson or a Joe Burrow, you're going to be able to win double-digit games every single year. I do think there is a world where Shedeur Sanders has more than enough NFL talent to be paired with a good coach like Brian Daboll, and if you build a good offense around him, he can have a successful NFL career. So that's kind of where I'm at on that, which brings me to this. With the Giants signing Jameis Winston and then signing Russell Wilson, are you going to draft Shedeur Sanders number 3 overall? And if you do, is the plan for Shedeur to play in his rookie year? I would love to know the answer to that because I think Russell Wilson gives the Giants a better chance to win games right now than Shedeur Sanders. And when I put my butt in the seat of Joe Schoen to keep my job, one of the most likely ways to do so is win more games than I'm supposed to. And I think Russell Wilson gives the Giants a better chance to do so. So if Shedeur Sanders is going to sit his rookie year, why not just wait until 2026 to go out and get a quarterback? One of the main reasons I was so in on drafting Shedeur number 3 overall is The Giants weren't going to have another quarterback that could win them games in 2025, and I think Shedeur Sanders is one of the more pro-ready quarterback prospects in this class. I think Shedeur is already a lot closer to his ceiling than these other guys, with his floor being a lot higher. So if you're not going to take the pro-ready prospect and play him, why not just kick the can down the road a little bit further and wait until a 2026 class that features a lot of quarterbacks that have a lot of upside? People thought Drew Aller could have went number 1 in this class. The same feeling for Garrett Nussmeier of LSU. People thought he could have went number 1 overall. Nico Iamaleava, Tennessee, looks like he has number 1 potential. Everyone knows that Arch Manning is someone that Giants fans would love to have. And then Lenora Sellers out of South Carolina, he looks to have the traits that if he has a good football season, he could be the Cam Ward of this class. And I know you can always say the next class is better, and the grass isn't always greener on the other side. But I look at it like this. If you're not going to draft Shedeur, or if you are going to draft Shedeur, and you're not going to play him in year 1, that means when the 2026 season starts, Shedeur will only have 4 more years on his contract. Really 3 more, with the fourth year at that time, being a 5th-year option. And do I think Shedeur Sanders on a 4-year deal is a better option than just waiting until 2026 and having one of those guys on a 5-year contract? Is Shedeur better than those guys? If all of those guys are available in 2026 and you pick up and drop Shedeur in the 2026 class, where would he go? Especially if you have to say he only gets 4 years on a contract. Like, the reason I was so in on Shedeur is because I thought he could play right away and he could help you win games and give you an answer on maybe Joe Shane and Brian Dable. But if the plan is not to play him, I don't think I want to pass up on the opportunity to select Travis Hunter to take a quarterback that's not going to play this year when I could just take a quarterback next year that could play. You can't force a quarterback at 3. That's what it comes down to. And if you're not 100% sure Shedeur Sanders is a franchise quarterback, you can't take him. And to be honest with you, like I hate to go back and talk GM and head coach, but this is why I wanted to clean house. Because when you keep a general manager and head coach that are on the hot seat, that don't have a quarterback, and your owner says they have to go and get the next franchise quarterback, they feel pressure to draft one. But I personally believe the Giants are in a better spot if they just take the best football player on the board at number 3. Whether that be Travis Hunter or whether that be Abdul Carter. Because I don't think you need to play a rookie quarterback this year. You got Russ and you got Jameis. And you need to continue to add blue chip prospects to this team. I'm fine with going into next season with Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and Travis Hunter. Or Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, and Abdul Carter. And adding another player in Hunter or Carter that could potentially be gold jacket players. The Giants, they need more of those. And this is not me saying I don't think Shedeur can be a franchise guy. I'm not saying I think Shedeur stinks. I just think when you factor everything in, the contract, him playing year 1, and passing on Carter or Hunter to select a quarterback to not even play his rookie year, I walk away feeling like I don't think the Giants have to draft a quarterback at number 3. What do you think? Do you think the Giants need to draft a QB at 3? If you didn't go out and sign Russ, you absolutely would have had to. But you went out and signed a starter. And he's 36. He's not 41 like Aaron Rodgers. Do they got to draft a quarterback this year? Type Y for yes, type N for no.